Welcome to my views and news. Three news stories for you. First one is from Eritrea. On Saturday, at Sawa Military Training Center, graduation ceremony of Sawa recruits was held. RSF Worki attended this program, a colorful program. This year's graduation ceremony seems to be a special event. And there, the way RSF Worki was received by Sawa recruits, it seemed as if he is very popular. Is RSF Worki really popular in Eritrea? Why is that whenever he is in public, people just can't wait to be close to him, to shake hands with him, to hug him, to greet him? Because we have seen several displays of popularity by RSF Worki in the last 1 year or so. Whenever he is live on national television, whenever some foreign leader is in Eritrea and he is in public with the leader, we see that people suddenly appear and they just can't wait to be with this RSF Worki. Is this public display of popularity is the real measure of RSF Worki's acceptance and popularity in Eritrea? What is the measure of popularity of a leader, of a politician in modern world these days? Secondly, how many police members have been killed by Fano fighters in this insurgency so far? While Fano fighters are dying too, but any numbers in terms of casualties caused by Fano fighters' attacks? Thirdly, we have Sudan, where rapid support forces are sweeping across Darfur. They already captured West Darfur, and now in East Darfur, entire Central Reserve Police have joined them. In South Darfur too, today they captured, a few hours ago, they captured Sudanese military headquarters. A lieutenant colonel of CRP joined along with hundreds of CRP members. He joined rapid support forces in East Darfur. Firstly, viewers, it was Saturday when at Sawa Military Training Center, a graduation ceremony of the recruits was held. RSF Worki attended this program. A colorful program. We saw war veterans celebrating, dancing with the RSF Worki. Sawa recruits flocked to welcome, to receive RSF Worki when he arrived there. Some diplomats had also been invited, and this program was being broadcast on state media too. This is what happens whenever RSF Worki is with the people. When Eritrean Independence Day celebrations are held and foreign diplomats and dignitaries are invited to a big gathering, and when RSF Worki enters the venue, you see that people just rush to meet him, to welcome him, to be with him. So just he wants to show to the world that he is very popular. Firstly, two clips for you from Saturday's Sawa graduation ceremony. Then I want to say a few words about his popularity in Eritrea. Firstly, we were expecting that he might announce something about Sawa military training, about the tenure of national service, about the association of education and military training. He might announce some relaxation, no relaxation announced so far by the president. And this year's graduation ceremony at Sawa seemed to be a celebratory event, as if a celebration has been held after objectives have been achieved. It seemed it was a celebration after the end of Tigray war. And this public display of popularity is not something new. It happens whenever Isas Worki is on state media live, and when he is with diplomats, guests, local guests, international guests. He wants to show that he is very popular. Now, question is, what is the measure of popularity for politician? How to measure? Popularity or performance of a leader is measured through election, not through public display of how people love or respect the leader. So it's not difficult to make arrangements for a few hundred people who can be paid, even a few thousand, they can be paid to welcome the president. How to judge the real popularity? It is judged through election, free, fair, transparent election. If Isas Worki is so popular in Eritrea, he should hold election in Eritrea. Free, fair, transparent election. But election is something that is not known. National election is not something that is known to Isas Worki. And by the way, PM Abiy follows Isas Worki. We see the same public display of popularity whenever PM Abiy is in public, as if he is very popular, that people die to see a glimpse of the PM. So here he seems to be following the Eritrean president. But to judge, again, to judge real popularity, election should be held in Eritrea, free, fair, transparent elections, not managed elections, not elections like the one which was held in Ethiopia. Opposition was put in prison, Jawar in prison, TPLF banned, OLF boycotted, OFC boycotted, and then PM Abiy ran and his party won. This type of election is not legitimate. Such elections don't prove that leaders are popular. Secondly, viewers, Fano, how many police officials have been killed by Fano fighters so far? Some numbers are being shared by Fano critics, by those news sources, those activists who are against Fano. The number shared by them is 62. They claim that so far, in the last 1 to 2 months, Fano fighters have killed 17 police officials in East Gojam, in North Shoa 11, in West Gojam 6, Central Gondar 4, in South Gondar 11, in South Wallo 4. Around 62 is the number being shared by some activists. How many have been killed in reality? It's difficult to say, because police, we only know about high profile killings like Dajan police chief, vice chief, like Debre Birhan police chief, Shua Robit security head, another Shua Robit police official, and some others. We know names of top officers who have been killed by Fano fighters. But obviously, subordinates have been killed too. I don't know if this number is correct or not, but dozens have been killed. I wouldn't say 62 or 50. I would say more than 2 dozen have been killed so far. It's a very modest assessment. So while we keep you updated about Fano's activities, about public support for Fano, we should also be aware that police members are losing their lives. These police members are police officials, they are government officials. They cannot go against government orders. They have to obey government orders. Government wants them to launch operation against Fano. They cannot violate the orders. If they disobey government orders, they'll be fired, they'll be dismissed. How will they survive? All of them cannot join Fano. These police officials are in a very difficult position. They are in the Amhara region. They know that Fano fighters have public support. They have to be part of operations against Fano fighters. Fano fighters are ruthlessly killing them. Those who are part of operations against Fano fighters are legitimate targets for Fano fighters. That is what they say. They said it clearly a few days ago that government officials, police officials who are part of the operations against Fano, they are legitimate targets. And wherever these targets are in a position to be hit easily, Fano fighters are hitting them. They are carrying out attacks on individual police officials, on their houses, on their offices, on their convoys too. Lastly, we are Sudan, where rapid support forces are stepping up their offensives in Darfur. They have captured almost entire West Darfur, where they caused tremendous devastation. People died, people killed, ethnic killing, non-Arabs killed, tens of thousands displaced, women raped, too, properties burnt. And from West Darfur, now they are gradually advancing toward other territories too, and people are scared. Other players in Darfur are scared too. Central Reserve Police in East Darfur has joined rapid support forces. Lieutenant Colonel Abdullah of Central Reserve Police, based in Al Dain. Al Dain is the main city in Central Darfur. Abdullah and more than 200 Central Reserve Police members have joined rapid support forces. A few days ago, RSF took control of a base of CRP in Khartoum, in southern part of Khartoum, I think. CRP has been supporting Sudanese military in Khartoum. But in Dain, reportedly, CRP has been largely neutral. And there has not been lots of incidents of fighting, clashes in Al Dain. It remained largely peaceful. But due to RSF's growing influence in Darfur, CRP members have joined rapid support forces. Secondly, South Darfur, where Kas city is the place where rapid support force members carried out an attack on 61st Brigade of Sudanese Army. Brigade headquarters has come under RSF control. 13 vehicles and other military hardware came under RSF control. A colonel and dozens of his soldiers also surrendered. So you see that in Darfur, gradually RSF are expanding the territories under their control. That is why Abdurrahim Dagalo, Hamdan Dagalo's elder brother, arrived in Darfur from Khartoum a few days ago. Why? Because now in Darfur, RSF are going to put in place some administration. officials will be appointed. RSF is trying to establish a government in Darfur gradually. That is where Abdurrahim Dagalo arrived in Darfur, and talks were held between Abdurrahim Dagalo and some other players in Darfur. A clip for you showing CRP members who joined Rapid Support Forces in Aldain, Central Darfur. I think for watching.
Allahu Akbar.